Hey, welcome to the Really Charlie podcast. Today's segment is called the Beauty Salon, where my guest will talk about anything they possibly would hear, maybe in a beauty salon. You could talk about anything, just women chit chatting. And so I'm not going to interrupt you guys. I'll get in the conversation a little bit, but I just want you guys to just come up with any kind of conversation you want that you would possibly hear in a beauty salon, you know, girls talking, whatever. Just keep it real, keep it you. If as long as you guys are you, this will be a really, really good podcast. All right. So, all right, my guess is Melanie, Melodie, and Celeste. These these women I loved for a long, long time. They're I'm very proud of them. Especially Celeste, some of the things you're doing, I'm amazed what you're doing. You keep it up, all right? And as far as the twins, you girls are amazing. Great friends of mine. And I'm so glad that we got introduced to each other years ago. All right. So, who wants to start off anything? You could talk about anything, family, friends, anything.
Oh, Charlie, thank you so much for having us. It was my honor, and thank you so much for inviting me. I was excited. I didn't even know what you were talking about at first when you invited me to be on the podcast,
Uh-huh.
and I just jumped at it right away. Yep, I'm down. And then
Good.
that's when you told us the subject. So
Yeah, it's going good. Everyone likes it. They like what the beauty salon and the barbershop segment does. There's It's just good conversation, and then when people jump on the comments, they add little questions here or there, and so it just makes it good conversation.
It does actually. When we go get our hair done by our hairdresser, and by the way, she does hair in her kitchen, so we don't go to the beauty salon. She does hair in the
Uh-huh.
kitchen. It's genuine. We drink, we eat, we relax. We basically take a load off our shoulders, and we just lay it all in and raw and open. And she's been our best
Mhm.
friend for 30 years at that. So I mean, that's the extra icing on the cake.
Yeah, yes. It's you know, and you women can get real deep. You don't have any filter. You just go and go and go and just get real deep. I and so it's awesome that one thing I like is that it's an organic conversation, and it's that 100 from, and you just go on and on. It could be about your other half, it could be about raising kids, it could be about friendships, so on and so forth. And now Celeste, she gets it firsthand. She's behind the scenes. I mean, she's
Yeah.
behind the chair. She's making people look beautiful. She's definitely doing her thing. So, Celeste, what's the craziest thing you heard on the other side of that chair?
right.
Well, being behind the chair, I'm kind of like a therapist. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
hear when you say it can get deep, it can get real deep. Depending on what's happening that day or that week, people need to vent and just let it out. Um, so I mean, I don't know. What's the craziest thing I've heard? Oh, geez. I don't know. Honestly, it's probably just like boyfriend husband drama is the craziest.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
'Cause,
I I
what
hear
happens
you.
in Finesse Beauty stays at Finesse Beauty. So,
Yeah.
get honest in here.
Where are
Yes.
you at?
My studio is called Finesse Beauty Studio, and I'm inside of the Holland Place building in the South End.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My daughter came in. She
That's okay.
basically She likes to steal the thunder all the time.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you put it in the
Mhm.
chat, then I can go ahead and grab that information. I'm not in New Bedford, however,
Oh, okay.
it's good to know when I am in New Bedford.
Yeah. So where are you guys from?
Well, we're from New Bedford,
Yeah.
but I live in California.
Oh, okay. Oh.
Yeah. And then my sister, she's in
I'm in New Bedford.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Celeste. So, you know, of course, we've seen Waiting to Exhale. And, you know, of course, Angela Bass said she's mad. She wants to chop all her hair off because of the drama that she's going through. Have you experienced one of your customers going to you and wanting to just chop it all off to?
No, because I don't do hair, so I do makeup, brows, and lashes. So
Okay.
no one comes to me wanting to chop it off.
Okay.
But I have personally experienced that. I've done the hair chop and the hair colors
Okay.
and the hair changes when I'm like, you know, feeling a little lost in the sauce because of a guy. You know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
So people usually come to me wanting to be like, let me show him how, let me get dolled up and remind him who I am, like what he's missing from me, because I'm the best he's gonna get, So that's usually what I get. I get the other half. I think I get like after that crazy period, and it's more like the revenge,
Right, of course. I mean, it was one time where I did like chop a tremendous amount off, and I laid my hair all on a counter for the guy that I was dating with at the time to just see it. And, I knew already that it was going to be a fight because he didn't, want me to chop off my hair. And so, yeah.
I think it's so funny how like guys be trying to dictate what we can do with our own hair or our own look, Like, what do you mean? I feel beautiful with my hair like this,
Right. You get that confidence.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, basically with our hairdresser, I asked her to show up, and she's tired from the night before, so she didn't want to join us. However, her name is Tanisha Simmons. She's been doing our hair since we were 19 years old, Melanie.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a little later, 20, 21.
About 20,
like
22, 23.
Yeah, 22, 23. Okay, but we've been knowing her since we were 17. And so, I mean, she has shown me so much. She taught me how to do my daughter's hair.
Yep.
From the time they were like 5 months old. Like she had me doing it. I learned how to cornrow through her and everything else. Because I had to. I got 3 girls.
Yep.
So in order to do their hair, I had to learn, and she taught me. Also, she does all of our friends' hair, and we all get together, and she'll be doing 5 heads, and we're just there watching TV, drinking, talking, eating, and everything else, playing dice, playing cards. Like, it's a full party at her house, and her house is the spot. Like, I lived upstairs from her for 3 years, and my house was quiet the whole time, but because she's doing hair, everyone's in and out of her house. So that's where I wanted to be. So I sat my butt right there on the couch and listened to stories about boyfriends and husbands and kids, and just I've seen people cry in the chair. We go there to get our scalps massaged, and so she does our hair and she listens to us talk. It's like she's like a psychiatrist almost.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we say we're like service provider, whatever that be, whether it's a hairstylist, esthetician, whatever the case may be, and therapist all wrapped in one, because it just happens. Like, you're doing something so personal with someone, so it's just natural that conversation goes that way, And when you're with like a group of girls, or even if it's just you and just like, the provider or whatever, you just feel so comfortable. It's just so easy to like be open. Sometimes it's easier to like do that with like your random hairdresser than it is like with your sister or your best friend. Because you know it's just like going to be a judgment-free zone, and there's no judgment. There's just no judgment. You know, it's like, hey, what happened here stays here, and it's not my life. It doesn't affect me. So say what you need to say. You know, without completely honest, without holding yourself back, because you don't have to worry about like hurting anybody's feelings. You know.
And then you have some type of loyalty, to that person that's, doing your hair and making you feel pretty and beautiful. And whereas you don't want to go to anyone else. And I stepped out, one time, and I felt real guilty. Felt like I had to go and apologize to her. I felt like I cheated on her.
Yeah.
And even though, I'm out here, I still feel some type of way going to someone else. But, of course, that can't be helped. But no one's came close to doing my hair like she's done my hair. And I miss you. I miss you, Tanisha.
It's true. Like when you find your person, like that's your person. And like when they can finesse it the right way, like nobody else can get that, nobody.
Right. I feel like it's the other way around too. I feel like, hairdressers, they're loyal to their customers as well. I get that a lot. Like I've tried to book, with a few people, and I'm taking it as, as this new person. I feel already some type of way towards my old customers. I really don't want anyone new. To whereas I get stood up, and it hurts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
the
I mean, like for me, like I'll go out of my way. I'll come in on my day off for like one of my regulars who like needs something because they're going on vacation or something special just popped up that they, need to look decent for. And yeah, it's just that loyalty goes both ways. It's true. It goes both ways.
Yeah.
It's like I appreciate you as my client, as my customer, trusting me, giving word of mouth, recommended. Like, there's no business without my client. So,
yeah, exactly.
And so, what are some things that you guys like? You talked about just sitting out and hanging out on the couch and like listening to all the stories. Like, did you like listening to like older women and like try to like learn some of the game and some of their wisdom at the time, or?
We're all around the same. Well, yeah, that's her answer. But my answer is that we were pretty much, the same age, because we grew up together, and we went to school together. But of course, we can still learn from one another, because you learn something every day.
Yeah, for sure.
And she lives with her mom, and so her mom's friends would come and get their hair done, and so I would gravitate towards those ladies because sometimes I don't always want to be the smartest one in the room. I want to be able to learn something. So being the dumbest one in the room benefits you to the fullest, and just listening to their stories and them game us up on anything about life, I appreciate.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that too. I feel like there's so much wisdom to be gained from other people's life experiences.
Right.
So Celeste, who inspired you to do what you're doing?
Well, I kind of was always like into beauty stuff. Like even when I was little, my aunt and my grandmother were my aunt was a hairdresser, so she was always like doing beauty stuff. And even with us, like me and my sister, like wanting to like blow out our hair and that kind of stuff. And my grandmother was a woman who you like never seen without her red lipstick. So I used to put on her red lipstick and, want to get my hair blown out with like a big swoop, try to be cute, looking like I'm 13 when I'm 6, So I'd say I I was just like inspired by like the women in my life and watching them get ready and get dressed to like, you know, just do their daily things. A little personal, but I was kind of bounced around a little bit as like a child. So I lived with different aunts and stuff like that. So I seen all their different like beauty routines and stuff. And I used to love that. Just like watching you get pretty and put on a pretty outfit and like that transformation that comes. And then on top of that, like in girls, you'll know what I mean. Like when you get your hair freshly done, you put on a cute fit, like you be feeling yourself and like you can see the change and like the confidence, you know? And I used to love that. Yeah, I used to love that. And then as like a teen in high school and stuff, like even before like the MySpace era, I would like sit in my room on the floor and just like play with makeup on my face and take pictures with my little digital camera. I didn't know yet that I was like taking selfies, you know, but I would just like take pictures of my makeup and try to like mimic things that I seen in the magazines or whatever, like Maybelline ads. So I was just always super interested and like drawn to beauty in general, you know?
Good. Now, Melody, now you had your own, you probably in your house, you had your sister with you. You guys do that makeup thing, you know, test each other, put on eyeliner, you know, do all that thing, comb each other's hair. I mean, because you grew up with your best friend, really, you know?
Oh yeah, she's my best friend. As far as the makeup thing goes, we don't really wear makeup.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, lipstick. I used to wear lipstick a lot. Now I've done calmed it down. Not to say that I don't like makeup. I'm one of those types where okay, I have my thing. My thing is my hair. I'll get my hair done all the time. You know what I mean? Or my teeth. I'll get my toes done all the time. I don't get my nails done, and I really don't worry about wearing the makeup. So, but as far as like doing hair, me and my sister, I'm the one who I used to do her daughter's hair. Like she didn't learn how to form.
No, I don't.
I used to braid up our kids' hair. I used to put beads in their hair and everything else, except for my two youngest daughters because their hair is so fine that the braids don't last that long.
Okay. Good. I do hair too, but the girls don't like it.
Find out, Charlie.
Oh yeah, and we don't have to look at a mirror. We can tell. Like if my mom did my hair or my grandmother did my hair, I didn't even have to look at a mirror. You could feel it. You could feel it. Like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling it.
Whoops. Oh, we lost Celeste. She'll come back. She'll come back on.
So how was it for you with the young ladies in your house?
Well, usually I'll play around and you know, but I wasn't good enough. You know, I just want to see what I can do. I would say, hey, you know, I could comb hair, I could braid hair, but it never came out good. The only thing they like, I wasn't as rough as their mother, you know. She'd be pulling and yanking their hair all over the place, you know. They didn't like that.
Oh, it hurts. It hurts to look pretty.
And they all got long. They all got long hair too, so I'm looking forward to doing a lot of these podcasts and especially like, you know, friends of ours, you know, and so I'm gonna ask you guys now, since it's on my mind, who would you like to see on the Really Charlie podcast?
I want to see Lori Gomes.
Yeah, we've been trying. You know how she is.
So busy.
She's so busy, and I think I'm gonna have to grab her and, you know, maybe catch her while we're at a certain event, you know, together. I might just grab it right there. I can kind of do the podcast right from my phone and do one of those things, or maybe even pre-record it and do that. Even if it's something where she's just at home drinking a coffee or something, I can catch her early. But she's always working, always. I mean, Celeste, you know how it is.
Yeah, we don't stop. But Lori, she's amazing. I personally have learned so much about just like the business aspect of the field from her, and she's just so sweet. She like wants to mentor everyone, and she just has the best advice, So you need the one.
There's a few people I want to see on your podcast. I want to see my cousin Carrie Gomes. She's doing some big things right now. She's opening up a restaurant, and so that would be nice. And then, every year when you go to Dookie and Jeannie's party, it would be nice for you to do a podcast from their party.
That's a great idea. I could do that. It's so and that's such a great. That's just a great weekend. When we're out there. You see family, you see friends, everyone's having a good time. You can't beat the hosts. Those hosts, they're always accommodating. They're always trying to make sure that everyone has a good time. And I think right now that, as Cape Verdean people, as people in general, we kind of lost that old ways, the old ways of meeting up on a constant basis. I mean, I'm finding out people are my cousins, and I've been friends with them all my life, And I think the reason why we don't get that connect because we stop connecting with each other on a weekly basis. So when I go out there, to their cookouts, first I want to make sure I know who my family is, know their history, and I mean, they're a great family. You've both been there, so you know how it is.
Every year.
Yeah, and you're our cousin too. Ancestry says so.
Yes.
Really? I didn't know that one.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm fine. I seen I had a guest on here a few weeks ago, about a month and a half, Earl White. So Earl White's he's on Facebook and he's talking about ancestry and all that. And so I looked on my ancestry and there was Earl on it. So I screenshot the picture and send it to him. And he was in shock because I had him at Keith when he was there. So, and Earl was funny. Earl is so funny. He's definitely in the right field being an actor. I hope he gets on a sitcom on a regular basis because he's so funny.
Is he young?
Let's say that again.
Is he the younger guy?
Yeah, yep. Earl, yep.
I believe he used to live downstairs from my grandmother.
Probably.
Yeah, I'm 47. Well, I guess I shouldn't have said the address.
Yeah.
No, I met him one time. I remember.
Yeah, he's he's so hilarious. In fact, I like to get him and one of my brothers together because I know they hit it off and they're just comedians. Damon said, Lori, please make your way to the podcast. She will. I know Lori will be on this podcast.
So I would like to see my boyfriend, and not because he's my boyfriend, but Mr. Marquis Walker. He has a couple of podcasts on his own. He has on Fridays the THHC podcast every Friday at 8, and then the Passive podcast every Sunday at 6 p.m. And he talks about all kind of topics from financial literacy to businesses that did not survive the COVID, the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys go check him out. Shout out to Mr. Marquis Walker, by the way.
Yeah.
Also my inspiration in regards to me and my sister's design.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he got us started. So
In fact, some of that, I mean, all the merchandise that you ladies have is just, it's unbelievable. And I'm going to kind of support you a whole lot better than what I have. There's a lot of things I like on that. But the one thing that I like, especially the T-shirts, is to wear them on my podcasts. So I can always represent you guys, you know. And like Celeste, if you have any kind of T-shirts, let me know. I'll go down, go buy one with your business on it. I like wearing my guest merchandise. And
here it is,
lady,
right here.
look at that. That's beautiful.
Hey.
All
Thank
the
you.
names. It's nice. It's so beautiful.
I love that.
Thank you. Yep.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, we're actually at all inclusive at Cabo Verde ×2 on Facebook, and then in regards to Instagram, you can find me at mel.g.77.
Hold on 1 second, because I want to grab something to write down.
Sure.
Say that again.
So it's all, the Instagram is mel.g.77. And the Facebook, we're at all inclusive at Cabo Verde ×2. So that's the X and then 2.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, you know, of course, Melanie Gainey. You can look me up on Facebook as well.
Right. Awesome. I definitely will. I'm saying all for supporting other, you know, locals and just women of color in general. I'm like so big on right now, you know. So I love that I'm seeing so many women of color like budding little businesses and doing just more in the world. So
Yeah.
I love our community. Like, it's really, really impressive. I haven't been on Facebook. I've only been on Facebook for like a year and a half, and just like seeing this community grow and, you know, have that drive to want to do more, you know, it's really impressive. I really love it.
it is. It's inspiring.
Very.
It is. It is. Unfortunately, I had to uninstall Facebook because I'm on another journey right now,
That's
and
okay.
Facebook was very distracting to me. I run my own janitorial company, and I also am taking a class so that I can get my 8A certification, so that I can get government contracts. And so, yes, it's very overwhelming,
Good job.
but self-rewarding.
Yes.
You'll
So,
do it. You will do
That's
it.
awesome.
thank
That is.
you.
And that's right. Leave all distractions behind.
That's it. It's only
Leave it all. Yeah, you make your moves.
just stay focused, look straight ahead, and get it done. You'll do it.
Oh yeah, yeah, I am. I better. I paid a lot of money for this class.
It's gonna pay off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Excuse me one moment. I'll be
Yep.
right back.
Okay. So so Melanie, how are those shot glasses coming along? Getting a lot of people to buy them?
I'm starting to take mailing requests. So for the last couple of days, I've been back and forth to the post office and just getting them out.
Yeah, it's one thing. When I was doing the mugs, I was getting a lot of like people like, see, here's one of my mugs. I don't know if you can see, it's too bright.
Yeah,
But
it's too bright, the glare.
when I was mailing out the mugs, you know, a lot of them were coming back damaged. So the packaging is very, very important when you're doing mail orders. So make sure you spend some money on it, because then your merchandise comes back broken, and then your customer wants a new one. You got to send a new one back. It's just crazy. So the packaging is very, very important. Because I try to tell everybody, when you're putting stuff in the mail, the post office has some huge boxes. They're probably maybe about 6'3", 6 feet 4 inches high, and every type of box that's getting mailed, it could be big ones, small ones. The people on the loading dock, they throw them over into the box. So if your package is real small, it's on the bottom. Guess what? And then they throw a 20-pound box in
Wow.
that bin.
Right.
It's gonna land right on your cup. I mean, on your box, and probably crush it. So packaging is very, very important.
Yeah, and the United States Postal Service has been making a lot of mistakes lately. A
Yeah,
lot. My aunt sent me some stamp in the mail. 3 bags of stamp. I did not get it. She had to send more.
there's it's going to be a big turnover during this year. There's like probably 625,000 postal workers that can retire this year. So that's going to end up putting them into a big bind. But I mean, I did it for 2 months, and I said, nope, I got to go. I mean, they want you to work every day. Got no time for your family.
It's like
And
awful.
if you got to work, if stuff's not on the truck, or stuff needs to be, put on the truck, you stay until it's done. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, you stay until it's done. So, but I just wanted to tell you that tidbit about packaging. It's very, very important that even styrofoam, if you can put it in that, something so it can break down that, all that pressure on top of it. So,
I have a question.
yeah.
So when your customers come to you, was there anything that they asked you to do that you, I guess, outright refused to do?
I think I lost part of that. Say that again.
So has any of your customers came to you and asked you to do something that you didn't want to do as far as within your field?
No, I don't really. I feel like I've been blessed with like really good customers and clients who have been like really easygoing, and almost all of my clients are more like, they give me like the free reign. You know what I mean? They trust more like my vision and my process. I haven't really had anyone ask me to do anything like too crazy out of the box that like made me feel uncomfortable or anything. I did have one interesting like wedding where and I didn't know until like midway through doing makeup, but it was a surprise wedding for the husband. So that was pretty funny because he didn't know that they were getting married that day. So that was like the experience I've had. But no, I don't feel like I really had anyone ever ask me to do anything like way crazy or that like I wasn't really like willing to do, you know.
Okay, I'm just wondering because, when I was living in Massachusetts, I went to a couple of different people to get my hair done. Oh, we lost her.
Yep.
Yeah.
We lost her. When she comes back, I'll because it's specifically for her. So, but yeah, we a lot of times we give our hairdresser free range as well.
Yep. Okay.
Just to try things new and stuff like that because we trust her. I mean, she's been our friend and doing our hair for years. So, why not? We know she's not gonna chop a lot of our hair off if that's not what we want or whatever have you. he's one of those ones who will go ahead and say, for example, we know we got dead ends when we got dead ends. And if we're not ready to cut them all off because they're dead, she'll be like, okay. Where others will go ahead and just assume that because it's dead, cut it off because that's what you need.
Yeah.
But we're the paying customers. So yeah, Celeste, I was in the middle of telling you that, there was a couple of times where I tried to go to somebody in Massachusetts and they refused to do something that I asked them to do, even though it was in their field and they could. And I didn't understand that because I'm the customer, I'm paying. Why not?
Yeah, that's strange. To me, that's just poor customer service. You know what I mean? Like you said, you're the customer, you're paying, you're expecting some type of result. It's my job to do that for you in the best way that I can. It's also my job to be honest with you and let you know if I can actually achieve that for you or not. A lot of girls out there will just be like, yeah, sure. And they never did it before, have no experience in that. And it ends up looking like crap, but they don't care. They're still willing to just take your coin, I'm not about that. If you ask me to do something that, for one thing, I have probably the most thing that people ask me to do is volume lash extensions, but I only do classic sets. And I'm not just going to come, I'm not trained in volume. You know what I mean? I can come and pretend like I know what I'm doing and ruin your eyelashes and take all your money because volume costs more money. But I'm not going to do that because I care about the health of your lashes. I want you to come back. I care about my reputation, word of mouth. You know what I mean? Some people, it's just bad customer service.
Some hairdressers, they don't even know how to do it, and they don't want to be honest with you to let you know, I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. And they'll tell you no, that, oh, you don't need this, you don't need that. And just be honest. If you don't know how to do it, just say that you don't know how to do it, and we'll respect you more.
Yeah, because ultimately you don't want them doing something that's going to damage your hair, trying to act, pretend and act like, this is something they do all the time.
Right, exactly.
Especially if you're if that hairdresser is being honest to you, that's only going to make you want to go back to her and say, hey, she's honest. She couldn't do something, but she did tell me right up, straight up, she couldn't do it, and that way you get to give, say some good things about her, or him.
Right. And we can always, depending on what you're asking for, if it's not something that we've done before, we can always give you an option of an alternative version that we have. And if you want to try that, then great. If not, then maybe, we can get you some recommendations of someone who we know does do what you're asking for.
Exactly. Right.
So I think all that goes hand in hand together. It's a good service provider,
Melanie, what was the day you said that your boyfriend does those podcasts? Friday
at 8. That's the THHC podcast, and that one is based on reviews on rap artists, hip hop. And the ones that he does on Sunday is called the Passive Podcast. And that's at 6 p.m. In the evening. He has his co-hosts there, Juan and Chuck, and sometimes guests such as myself, my sister, and...
Okay. I'm going to try to set up something like a barbershop segment with him and maybe a few others. I might just do it with just him. So I'm going to send some dates, and but I just want to make sure I didn't conflict with his 2 days.
Okay.
But I'll do that. I'm looking at it now, and I definitely have something that I want to do with him. Especially him and I, we could probably pick each other's brain, get to learn, some things from him. He can learn from me, and but it's podcasting has been great to me. I like doing it. And I want to continue to do it. And then I also want to support him on his podcast.
Thank you. I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
he'll appreciate that.
Yeah. Yep. So let's see. We got about 20 minutes. Feel free to talk about whatever you want to. Let me see. Melody, on the transition. You did it a couple of times. You had transition from the East Coast to the West Coast. What was the hardest thing to do, out of that? Was it something you just said, I'm going to do this, and then think about anything?
Yeah, this time when I transitioned back to California, it wasn't even a second thought. Like, I picked up and I packed my car, and me and the kids got in the car, and we rode. It took us 3 days, 4 nights. We stayed in a hotel. I did 12-hour days. At night, I would go ahead and, go in the hotel, wake up in the morning, and start all over again. It's the first time that I've ever driven across the country, me driving, just driving. As a kid, I was a passenger, but just me driving. I think driving Uber in Massachusetts prepared me for those long drives. The kids, they hated it. My daughter, she cried all the way back almost. She was used to New Bedford. She was going to Keith Middle School. I needed my mother at the time. And my mother is, she's out here. However, I'm torn. I'm always torn. Like, I come to California and I feel like I'm missing out on Massachusetts all the time. Then I go to Massachusetts and I'm missing out on California. Not all the time, but pretty much a lot. And this time, when I picked up and came back, I tried to get a job back where I was working at before. I worked for Kaiser Permanente. I don't know if you guys ever heard of Kaiser Permanente. It's an HMO. They have hospitals and clinics all over the Northern California, Oregon, Atlanta. They even have one in Virginia. And so I worked there for 9 years. And I tried to get back in, but they were only hiring internally. So I called my business partner and I'm like, Che, I need a job. I got to pay my bills. I'm falling behind. I'm starting over again. And he's like, no, I don't want to babysit you. You could be my business partner. So we started a business. I run a janitorial company, and that's what I've been doing. And I'm making more money than I ever had in my life. I'm also investing into cryptocurrencies and stocks and basically learning about financial literacy. Like I said, I'm going for my 8X certification. Also, me and my sister, we're doing the t-shirts and the apparel and stuff like that. She's more gung-ho on it because that's her baby. However, like, I helped her get one of her first hit selling designs because I had that idea in the back of my head already, but she came out with it when she got together with Mark. He was already doing that, so it was like they was attracted to one another because this is what we were doing. So you know how they say that there's energy transference and energy brings you together with other people. So that's what happened. And with the name, the Cape Verdean name, when you go to Lincoln Park or Six Flags and you see these souvenirs with people's last names, not last names, but first names, and you don't see your name there. Yep. I wanted people to see their name. Mm-hmm. Let's get a shirt with all the Cape Verdean last names on them, and in a way that, people would be like, I've never seen that before. I want that.
Yeah, it's just a T-shirt and merchandise in itself can strike up a conversation, and then you just got to make sure you have your history right, and kind of share that conversation with, with the person. Where is Cape Verde? It's in Africa. You got to just make sure you know that knowledge, because so many people, they're just not telling the true facts about Cape Verdean heritage, and then people get all scrambled about it, and look, we're so confused about Manchupa and Cachupa, and what is it? It's
Right,
and
right. Like I've been calling it Manchupa all my life, but on the bag it says Cachupa.
yeah.
On the bag
Right.
itself it says
It does.
Cachupa. But
Does.
my grandmother has been having us call it Manchupa. She was born in Brooklyn. She didn't move to Massachusetts until she was like 30 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like this woman, she's your grandmother, and she's been saying this for so long. That's what you think it is.
It's that you want to start trouble. If you ever want to start trouble or start a hot conversation, that's what you say. Just bring up Cachupa and Manchupa, and people just go crazy.
Yeah.
Like here's Denise. Denise says Cachupa. I mean, you can go on and on. You just well, my grandmother said it's Manchupa. My dad said it's Cachupa. And you just go on and on.
The most challenging thing, I'm sorry to interrupt, but I seen that question on the screen. I just want to answer it. The most challenging thing, that I'm doing now is just learning that there is other income outside of the regular 9 to 5, because the regular 9 to 5 was just, it's not going to cut it nowadays. I mean, rent is going up. And you have to teach your kids, that it's life outside that 9 to 5. Not only that, but I've been trying to cook more Cape Verdean foods so that I can also pass that down to my kids as well. I mean, I've had a couple of fails. I try to make couscous, but that's okay. I'm going to keep on trying. I'm going to go ahead and get that perfected. Right, exactly. So
I mean, nothing comes easy, sometimes, even when it comes to cooking. But the couscous is it's complicated. It's just, you gotta spend that attention to it. But it all depends what you're using too. Don't use something that really, just ain't gonna get that form and the texture. You gotta really keep on looking and learn from the old timers.
It's a science to it. I swear it is.
The old timers bring some wine to their house, and you'll teach them. I mean, they'll teach you.
Yeah, just bring some punch and a couple of my shot glasses.
That's it.
Their wine will do too. They have a Cape Verdean winery out here, and the address is their home address. However, they do have some wine in the stores. I swear, I went into this store, had to go an hour away. I bought the last 6 bottles of wine in the store. It says Creola on the bottom.
You okay, Charlie? You need some cough drops.
I got a high fever. I'm not feeling well, but I couldn't miss this podcast, so I'm trying to make it through.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it is what it is. Sometimes it is. In fact, I'm gonna go get some more water. All right, continue to talk. Have a conversation. I'll be right back. All right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. We hope you feel better. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah.
Well, that sucks. I like his backdrop.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Yeah, I like that. I forgot to put my shirt on. I'm sorry, Melanie. I got so much going on in this house right now. People interrupting me.
Oh yeah, I see that.
Ma interrupted me. It doesn't stop.
Oh, I had a couple of interruptions, but they're pretty good. They just interrupted me in the beginning, and then that motorcycle sound outside my window, I had to put it on mute.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I was gonna wear my shirt.
Yeah.
Yep, I have to represent, and I don't mind doing it.
I enjoyed the podcast tonight. It was
Which
very
one?
nice.
Yeah, I had fun. It was exciting.
I
At
know, I
first,
can tell. You was comfortable in your skin, talking and everything else. I've never seen you talk so much on a podcast.
my first podcast, I was so nervous that you could see me shaking on the screen.
Oh, sorry guys. I don't know what keeps happening. I keep getting bumped. Keep jumping in and
Yeah,
out.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to contact the. I'm gonna have to contact StreamYard and see what's going on. I don't want to leave StreamYard, so I might. This has happened a couple of times already. I might have to get another browser. I mean, another stream, like Restream or something like that.
Yeah.
Because I have great guests like you guys that are on here, and I don't want the podcast to turn into crap, and then I can't put it on YouTube,
Yeah.
Trying not to hurt my name, So
Right, no, I understand.
Yeah.
But I don't see how your name can be heard anyways. You're one of the pillars in the community. So
Thank you. That means a lot. Just trying to do what I was raised to do, and that's all I'm trying to do. And there's so many other things that I'm looking to do. First, want to check out Marquise's podcast, and get him on here. Now that I think of it, I think I'm just going to have him on my podcast. Just him and I just talking, interacting with each other, and we'll practically be promoting each other's podcasts, which I did a couple of months back. I had someone that I was talking to, and on her podcast, and then she came on mine, and then it was so funny because that same week we both had the same podcast on each channel, so it was pretty nice because her viewers were connected to mine, so my viewers were up there, her viewers were up there because we were listening to the same podcast. And and it turned out pretty good.
That was nice.
Yeah. So
he uses StreamYard as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna check. I'm gonna kind of troubleshoot this on my own, and then I'm gonna contact someone because they got a nice support system, and they'll figure it out for me. So, all right, what I want to do is kind of got about 5 minutes. Just want you ladies to end with something nice, something encouraging, whatever's on your mind. Just kind of throw it out there to the audience. And if you have nothing to say, then you don't have anything to say. But I'd just like you guys to throw some inspiring words of wisdom to anybody out there, especially the empowering women that we have all over this country.
I would like to say, just do what you love, and make people happy and make money at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. If you can find your passion and find a way to make that lucrative to some extent, then do it. And don't let anyone else's opinions and their insecurities about entrepreneurship scare you off, because
Yes.
there's room for all of us. And the way
So
I
true.
feel like the next few generations, we're moving towards full entrepreneurship. It's just the way the world's going with social media. It's so easy nowadays to build a platform. So just do it. Do it. And
Agreed.
believe in
No,
yourself.
for sure, for sure. I had a bunch of people in my family to look up to as far as it comes to entrepreneurship. I want to go ahead and give shout out to my cousin Gainey. She was always selling stuff on the street and always selling stuff at the festivals and parades and stuff, Punkadoors and stuff like that. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Maurice Gomes with Exclusive Clothing. A shout out to my cousin Johnny Fernandez with the Motorsports Playground. I want to give a shout out to my cousin Rhonda. She had a store on the Cushioned Ave selling clothing. And then also a shout out to my Uncle Pat, who passed away. He had his own restaurant across the street from Common Park. The one that restaurant that burned down? It was a Lebanese restaurant
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
But my Uncle Pat used to have the restaurant there when we were 5. And then also Michelle, I'm in Fairfield, California. It's between Sacramento and San Francisco and Oakland. It takes me an hour to get to each city.
And my mother-in-law is real close. She's close to that area, so we're just going to keep an eye on, because she's always trying to find stuff, Cape Verdean stuff, and so that's why we're at. She's asking. And Melanie, are you going to the Roach House on June 19th? It's the Black
No,
businesses, Black buy Black.
To buy
They
black
have,
envy and bet.
yeah.
I heard about that. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be there this weekend. Um, I still need to better myself. I have yet to get a vendor's license, so that's what I'm going to be working on so that I can go to the other upcoming events.
Wow.
Same. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there either because I have a bridal party. I was excited when I saw it, and when I saw the time, so I was like, "Oh, darn!" But it's going to be an awesome event. Everyone should definitely check it out.
Yeah, that's going to be
Good.
exciting.
Yeah.
I love what Buy Black Envy is doing too. Like, they're amazing. An amazing platform to showcase local, talent and businesses. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're dope people, and a lot of people get in their way. They don't know it, but they're in their own way. We can do it. We're bred that way.
Yeah, so true. Well, he lost Celeste again.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to close this podcast when she comes back on. And but I in fact, I'll put her on right now. All right. Hey, Celeste. Well, ladies, what I want to do is I want to invite you to this podcast at any time, whether it's just you talking about whatever you want, your business. Celeste, I want to highlight your business because it's local. Melodie, I want to highlight your business. So if we end up doing a one-on-one on this podcast, just let me know when you're ready, and we'll get it done.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
And thank you. I really, really appreciate you. I'm going to reach out to Marquise so we can do that one-on-one podcast. And I really appreciate all of you, and I'm very proud of you. So you need anything,
Thank you.
get in touch with CP, and I'll definitely do whatever I can for you. All right?
We appreciate you too, Charlie Celeste. It was very good meeting you.
So nice meeting you, girls.
All
Best
right.
of luck with everything.
Thank you. You as well.
Thank you.
You have a great night.
You too.
Thank
Good night,
you.
Charlie.
Good night, and good luck tomorrow.
Thanks.
Have a great weekend. All right.
All right, bye everybody. It was nice. Had a good time.
All right. Thank you,
All right.
Melody. I appreciate you. Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
All right, ladies. Good job. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, Melody. Take care. All right, everyone. Some empowering women doing their thing. I love it. You know, Celeste doing her thing down at the Holland Place, something of New Bedford. Um, Make sure you go out and reach out to her. Definitely, if you're getting married, she can make you look even more beautiful with the makeup, all the stuff that she's doing. And and Melanie and Melody, they've been doing things for a while. Their merchandise is very beautiful. So thank you for tuning in to the Really Charlie podcast on StreamYard, Anchor, Spotify, Facebook, and YouTube. We want to bring those educational and inspirational stories to you. So, like I said, I'm on 2-3 times a week. Tomorrow we have another special guest, and Ian Abreu, City Councilor in New Bedford. We'll have him on there. And on Saturday we'll have Nathan Victor, um, Robert Davis, and Frank Miranda on the barbershop segment. So continue to tune in to the Really Charlie podcast. I appreciate y'all, and your time is very valuable to me. So when you're sitting in front of the screen and listen to the Really Charlie podcast, that means a lot to me. Take care, be well, stay blessed. God bless. Have a good night, everyone.